Okay, welcome to my first class, the Roman alphabet. Today I'm going to show you how to create the entire alphabet. So for that you might need to know the principles and the basic rules to do it. First of all, you need two pencils and you need to attach them in the top and in the bottom and make sure they are aligned and sharp, of course. So first thing to understand is when we draw, we might create two lines at the same time. And it's important for you to understand the most important rule here is to create here this 30 to 40 degrees angle. This will help you to create the serif, but also the curves, and all the letters follows the same rule. So for first exercise, you might need to put in practice this double line just to get used to it. So I'm gonna start with the height of the letter, which correspond to 4 or 5 times my brush, my pencils. So I'm gonna mark here 4 times the size. I'm gonna draw the ascending line. And then the baseline. Okay, start creating this repetition. Just keep in mind this angle, so you don't make the straight lines like this. You just rotate your pencil a little bit and create this, okay? So I'm gonna try to create 15 lines, so you're gonna see how easy we can add letters into this grid, and all the alphabet will follow a little bit the same rule. In the beginning, I tried to make a little curve in the top, then I went down straight and then a little curve in the bottom. This will help me to create here the serifs. Try to keep same space between the lines. I will say 1.5 times the size of the stroke of these lines. So here I will fit like 1.5. You don't need to be super precise, but just try to do it. That's why it's important to repeat this as much as you can, so you get used to it. Try to make the line straight and don't focus too much in these little curves, the terminations. So here we have the lines, and now I'm gonna create here our first letters. Perfect, 15. So our first letter is gonna be letter N, which is just a connection between two of them. And just to explain you this part, when you have two strokes like this, all the letters will fit here, you will see. But just make an arch between them, a connection, but try to make not a perfect arch, but try to make, give more relevance to the right side, okay? So here we can see like a perfect arch, and here I give more pressure to the right side. So here we have letter M and letter N, which are our first letters. And here I'm gonna write down the word minimum. So this is your first exercise. to create this repetition as much as you can, and then try to find between the lines this word. Letter M, letter I, letter N, letter I, letter M again, letter U, and letter M. I'm gonna redefine here the terminations of the letters. So here, for example, I make it straight. Here is also straight. And here I'm gonna use these little curves that we created to create the serif. Here we have the serif. Here is straight. The serif. Serif on top, serif on the bottom. It's just a smooth curve. Straight, straight, serif, serif, straight, serif, straight and straight, and serif. Okay, so this is your first exercise, and you will understand that we can add even much more letters inside this pattern. Second step is to explore the curve. The curve is hard to make, but it will help you to create many other letters, or even the rest of the alphabet. 3, 4 times here the size of my brush. I'm gonna make a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again a straight line. So for the circle or for the curve, it's important to understand why we do it in 2 parts. First, we do the bottom. Sorry, it's not the bottom, it's just the first half. And second, we start in the same place and we do the other part, the other half. It might look weird, but this is the way the ancestors start creating the alphabet, because the tools and the techniques they use it. So the brush, when you paint with the brush and you make a perfect circle, you kind of open the brush, so it's not well done. The right way to make it is just doing 1 half and then another half. Okay? With this curve, you might need to repeat this as much as you can just to put in practice. It's not easy to do it, and it's useful to create a lot of letters actually. For example, letter C, and I stop here, I start here again, and I stop here when I reach my 40 degrees, or when I reach here the rest of the letter. Okay? When we make a curve, you might notice the circle in the center is not straight. We have here an angle, which is normal, and we also need to correct this curve in order to make it more perfect. Okay? So don't freak out. For letter C, I'm gonna show you some other letters, but here we can add letter E, letter D, or letter P. Okay, so the circle will be predominant in all the alphabet. One letter that is a bit different from all of this is letter S, but you need to understand why we do this in two parts. So for letter S, I'm gonna do the top part and the bottom just like I do it here. But before that, we do here the connection. So we create letter S. I'm gonna do it again because it's not easy. So I always start with the connection, which is a little curve like this, and then I complete the top and then the bottom. Okay, and then of course I might need to improve here these curves because they have like kind of a broken angle here. This bottom part is not good, but we're gonna revise all the alphabet now. So these are the basic rules for you to start creating the entire alphabet. To build the alphabet, I'm gonna create here 3 baselines and keep some space between them because we're gonna have descendant and ascendant parts of the alphabet, so we need space between these lines. Just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna start doing here 4 times again the size of my pen. I'm gonna give a space and then 4 times more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope this is enough. I'm just trying to save space. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of the times I can't do the alphabet in 3 lines, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so here we have the baseline, and I'm gonna start with letter by letter. You might need to repeat each of these letters, and in the end with the tracing paper you can just select the best one and collect in a tracing paper the full alphabet. So letter A, top, coming down, little curve, almost straight, curve, close this serif and close this one. Letter B, starting here in the top, an ascending letter, just coming down, little curve, and then I'm gonna make the half circle that we created for letter O. Okay, correct this curve here and here. Close the serif here. Letter C, half circle, and I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't start here in the top. I start almost like with the inner space and then the other half, and I stop here when I reach the size of the letter. I make this curve perfect, and that's it. D, another circle. I don't need to make it all, just like letter C, and then another ascending line here, going straight down and little curve, serif. E, just like letter C, but then I'm just gonna go in straight down, and you see I go straight down and I make a perfect line. So this is my 30 or 40 degrees, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F. I'm gonna start here in the top. Wait. Here in the top, coming down, and I stop here and I close it just like that. Here I'm gonna do little top, just like we do here in the top of the curve. I'm gonna make this perfect, and then I start here, and I stop here, okay? So I created this center trace. Actually, this could go bigger. Keep in mind to have here the same, almost the same size for the ascending lines, okay? The same will happen in the bottom, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Circle, other half, okay? Here I go straight down, I make an oval curve, and then from here I just close this curve, okay? It's a bit complex, but it's fine. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Straight down, and then this connection that we just practiced for letter N and serif. I. This is the first one we did, huh? J. K. Straight, serif. L. Serif, going straight, and here try to make like a bigger curve. M. Here is straight, straight, and here serif. Letter N. Yeah, sometimes I forget about serif. O. Okay, when we do a circle like this, always remember to complete this curve just to make it more perfect. And please try to avoid this. Give more space between the lines. O, P. Straight line. And I'm gonna just do half of this circle. Letter R. Serif, and here straight. Letter S. So I make the connection first, and then I make the top, and then the bottom. Okay, just make these curves perfect, close this down, and this curve perfect. T. I hope I don't miss any letter. Here the same letter L, I'm gonna try to give here a bigger serif. And then the same happens here for letter F. I'm gonna create the same here. U. Letter U is the same letter N, just inverted. And serif. Letter V. Letter W. X. Y. Here is the same letter G, but you can also close it with another circle here. It's up to you. And finally, letter Z, I knew is not gonna fix. Just straight to the side, coming down, straight to the side again. And here you can make the little curve. Oh, I think I missed here letter Q. So letter Q, it's similar with letter O. Then here you will make this termination. Okay, fix these curves and that's it. For letter Z, you can also make this part rounded. Okay, and those are the basics of the Roman alphabet. So we might need to use these rules for the next exercise, and here you can see we always use the same logic, the same rules, always the same angle, the same thickness of the pencil, and you can try to write in Khmer with this pencil, with these exactly the same rules. This is actually what you can see in the temples with the letters painted with brush. I suggest you to explore, to repeat these letters, to put in practice, and then to explore your name or something else in Khmer.